Do you want to know one of the biggest spiritual secrets, spiritual understandings, and what I like to call pillars of truth that will change your life, that can bring a connectiveness, once it is seen experientially, to everything you know and change how everything has ever been seen, and everything that you believed reality to be and look like, and how you believed it to stand on its own can be dropped within a second once this is fully seen. That is what I want to talk to you guys today about. So welcome back, Truth Seekers. I'm here to share another insight and video with you guys that I hope resonates with you. I took a little poll in my on my channel in the community. It didn't get many votes, but out of the few votes it did get, one of the most interesting things that you guys wanted to hear about was how everything is consciousness, and that is something I want to share with you today. Consciousness is everything. Everything is consciousness. Everything is in consciousness. It is the container of all existence. This is one of the pillars of truth. It is one of the most powerful pillars of truth, and it is basically the pillar that sets the stage for the other two pillars. I have built this channel, and I'm building this channel in my teachings to help you guys awaken on the three pillars of truth. And this is one of the pillars that I want to share with you guys. One of the pillars that seriously, whenever I notice some struggling, I was figuring out how to word it, but whenever I notice some struggling, it is this pillar that seriously keeps me grounded in experiential truth. And like I said, it is that consciousness is everything, and everything is within consciousness itself. This is experientially seen, easy as can be. Now, when I talk about it here in a moment, you're going to see how easy it is to see experientially, and you're also going to be dumbfounded at how you may have overlooked it for so long. And I can also admit that you may not clearly see it right now and right here. Like I said, depending on how tight your VR headset is, this can be very cloudy, because the reality that you believe that stands on its own, and everything within the reality that you believe stands on its own, and the objects, the people, the distance, time, and space, that can all seem very real. That can all be everything you've only known. So what I'm about to speak about here may be seen or may not clearly be seen, but it is the investigation that will change your life. Has anything ever been found to exist on its own? The world we believe is outside of us. The reality that we believe is outside of us. The life that we believe is outside of us. Has it ever been found, known to exist, without an awareness, knowing awareness that is consciousness? I can't say it has. I have never found anything existing outside of this knowing awareness, which means consciousness, what we assume in this reality as being alive, okay? You have to have that has to be here for this world, this reality, to be known. Now, easily you can tie that all into objects, other things, other people, the world, outer space, science itself that tries to define and explain reality is all found within the same container of existence. Now, if you sit with that for a moment, and you don't need a theory or an idea or a belief for that to be truth, because you can't find it without it. That cannot be found without the conscious awareness that you are. That right there is so liberating in itself. That right there dissolves the idea of separation for me. The idea that we all have, the idea that we are sharing the same world, having individual consciousnesses, individual pockets of consciousness, individual separate consciousness. Maybe it is that we are sharing the same one source, one consciousness, with a whole bunch of different worlds, as in how you perceive reality. Because everyone's individual experience, the perceived experience, seems to be different. But yet it is that knowing consciousness that is everywhere and everything that we all have access to, that is needed. Without it, your localized perspective, your perceived reality that seems so separate, can't even exist. You can't even imagine it. That's just imagination, which also is found within consciousness. One of the most powerful pillars of truth, right there. One of the biggest foundations for truth itself. The one common denominator that everything has is conscious awareness. Like I've said in this video, it is the container of all existence. Everything is inside of it. Everything that we believe to be so separate inherently cannot be as separate as we believe if it is all held together by one source. This is an assumption that we make from conditioning, from culture and society, and it happens at a young age. In this separation, you may not notice it, and it may or may have not affected you. It is the root cause of a lot of suffering. That I am different from them, and they are different from me. While that is a necessary fiction in a sense, when it is explored in depth, when you find out how different are we really, okay? To be extremely different. Yes, we look different. Yes, our localized experience is different. What I have in my perceived experience right now is different than your perceived experience. That is true. I talk different. I look different. I may have been brought up different. But there's one common denominator that ties everything together. And it goes in as far and wide as you can look. There are no boundaries to this. And because you can always fall back on the experiential understanding that nothing has ever been found to exist on its own independently. It needs the one common denominator, the one core truth, the one pillar of consciousness is everything, and everything is consciousness, and everything is contained within this field, within this container. And this is life itself, and this is you. You are that consciousness eternally now. It is you eternally now, not as a person, but awareness itself. Being that person, believing that person is another assumption of separation. Well, while it is not necessarily bad, it is bad when you are lost and consumed in it like I was, fully consumed with the fear and anxiety that comes from separation, that comes from an identity, but all boils down to simply seeing truth as it is, with no theory and no concept, that everything is consciousness now, here and now, eternally, timeless, no space, no time, no boundaries, fully given to you now. There is no center of experience. Consciousness is you, which makes you life, because life is consciousness. Simple and plain. You do not find life without consciousness. But do not create a separation between consciousness and yourself. That is a mistake that also takes place. There is no separation. There's no separation with anything at all. And that is one beautiful, profound truth, freeing truth that you can discover and that we'll talk about here at my channel. There is no separation whatsoever between anyone or anything, anywhere or anyhow, or boundaries. It is all unity, guys. It is all unity. And that is so freeing. And that is love, that is peace, that is joy. So what you may have been identified with before that has been trapping you down and caging you in, when you see that it is all consciousness, it is all life itself, you're able to be set free. So I just wanted to share that one pillar of truth with you guys. There's 3 pillars of truth that I base this channel on, and that I've kind of created myself in a sense. I didn't create the pillars, but I created the concept of the pillars, I believe. Well, at least I haven't found them anywhere else. So these are the pillars that I'd like to share with you, because these are the pillars that once I realized them individually, I seen the connectedness between all of them, and they all led to truth. They all held up that one truth. That's not an idea or a belief. And when you see truth, there's no going back. So thank you guys for joining me for another video. I appreciate every single one of you. I encourage you to click the subscribe button if you are just catching this video and you're not a subscriber. And if you like this message, please give it a like. And I will talk to you guys again soon. So thank you. And don't forget, we are all one. You are life. Take care.